Clash at the Castle happened today, the newest WWE PLE, and we're going to dig into it and review it, the things we liked, the things we hated, and all that good stuff. But if you're new to the channel, first, be sure to subscribe. We drop daily wrestling content right here. I always mess up the pointing, is the WWE shop link. Make sure you click that, get all the nice merchandise, and it's no extra money for you, just an extra click, and you support this podcast and the WWE. So make sure you scan that. Boys, are we ready to dig into the PLE?
Let's get our
Absolutely.
shovels out.
Let's get it. We actually had a PLE that was 3 hours or less. That's how it's done.
Yeah. Too bad that they're all overseas, which I'm going to break this down real quick before we get into this. These PLEs every month being overseas has got to stop, because I am not about to watch a pay-per-view at noon every Saturday in the summer. So they need to figure this out. Like, I would say a few pay-per-views a year overseas, and that's it. Then you got to come back.
This one was good, though. This one was good. This was 2 p.m. This wasn't like 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. like the last couple. This wasn't that bad, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, but I'd rather sit down like at night. Like, all right, they can keep the Saudi ones because they're making money there, but maybe two more after that.
Yeah, that'd be it. That's max. I mean,
Format.
Today it's not like how much money you're really making. There was only 11,000 people there. I mean, that's a lot, but I mean,
well, Triple H said this was the biggest indoor gate that just beat France. So I mean, they're charging hella money to go to these shows.
Well, all right. Well, let's dig into it. So the first match, which took me by surprise, was Cody and AJ. I thought it was really interesting.
But did it really?
But to start a show with an I Quit match is like, I didn't expect that.
If you're gonna have your world champion not main event it, you put him on first.
Yeah. All right. Well, a couple spots that I wrote down. The brainbuster on the announce table by AJ looked really good. The botched belt on the head was crazy because he was trying to choke Cody with this belt on the head, and it was like not working. And they tried it like 3 times, and I'm like, just give up because it ain't working. What else did I write here? Another great spot is when AJ puts the chain on the elbow, and he's going to do the fantastic forearm, the phenomenal forearm. But then he gets the chair thrown at him, and he falls. And he falls.
Guys talking about Marvel movies over here on a kind of wrestling podcast.
Hey, you know what? I probably would have rather watched a Marvel movie than the ending of this match anyway. But Mama Rhodes being involved, I mean, it was cool for the Rock thing. I just really hope they don't make this a thing where Mama Rhodes is there to protect her baby boy every time he's defending the title. You know, that I'm kind of hoping that goes away. And other than that, I mean, the finish was not really logical, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna hit you with this steel. Okay, I quit. Like as mad as AJ was,
off to the rope. You got nowhere to go.
As mad as AJ was, you just give up. Like you don't even take one steel step shot, and then like okay, I quit. Like you're that scared of it. You literally faked a retirement to get this match, and then you're like okay, I quit. Like I don't want to get hit. Anyway, but that's what I wrote down. What do you got, MVP?
Oh, well, before I hit somebody with a fantastic forearm. I thought Cody doesn't have to have like record number of like reign. So I thought this would have been the perfect place to take the title off him. You know, like have it go to somebody who deserved it, and then he'll get it back before he's got to face like The Rock or Roman again. Yeah, like I said, this would have been. I think they could have used Mama Rhodes as a way to get the title off of Cody. So there's interaction between Mama Rhodes and AJ. AJ gets the shit slapped out of him. He could have easily just what Randy Orton did to John Cena's father, just put her over. And
Mama Rose don't play that.
Yeah, but imagine you see your mom getting threatened with a steel chair. You're gonna quit.
Yeah.
I thought they could have got that way with it. That way, because like, what do you do with AJ Styles now? This way you get the title off of Cody, put it out to AJ, and you continue the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys are pretty negative about this match. It wasn't a perfect I Quit match, but I thought there was some good stuff within the match. I thought thought going to the outside was a great way to kind of intro this match. Them fighting in that hallways full of cinder blocks and Cody
Yeah.
throwing AJ into that cinder block wall. That looked like it really hurt. And then it was cool to see Gorilla. I think we've seen Bobby Roode, we've seen Triple H, we've seen Bruce Pritchard while they were fighting out there in Gorilla, and it was funny to me because they're just sitting there watching the monitors as if those guys aren't fighting in the room with them. You know what I mean? But it was great to see the Glorious One because that's one of my favorites is Bobby Roode, arguably still the best entrance music of all time. But that's for another day. I learned some stuff. I learned some stuff during this match. 26 I Quit matches in the history of WWE. First one, which I remember, is Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart, which was cool. And even Corey Graves dropping some knowledge at the first I Quit match, Magnum TA versus, oh man, I forgot who he said, but it was for the U.S. Championship in 1985. It was like the first one. So thought there was some good stuff. That was some good stuff. Fake blood in the match. Kind of getting tired of the fake blood. You know, if you're gonna get some color, you know, be a pro like Bret Hart and cut yourself and cut the opponent open. But hey, I know it's Father's Day, and I know might be a little too soon, even still. But it was nice to see the crossface. It was nice to see the crossface in this match, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
But I disagree with you, MVP. I don't think you have Cody drop the title here. I think he's gonna hold it all the way until WrestleMania. Minimum, maybe Royal Rumble.
No, look, I'm not saying he doesn't have the title at WrestleMania. I'm saying he doesn't need to have a long title run.
Right.
Him dropping it and regaining it will not do it, especially when there's a lot of people that think his title reign is stale already.
He's as over as Cena was in the fact that he could have took a loss here and gained it back later before Mania, and it wouldn't have hurt him any. You know, because I mean, with AJ, you faked your retirement. It's like, this is my last shot. Like, are you really going to retire now? Or are you going to go back to the mid card? I mean, and where was Gallows and Anderson?
In NXT.
But why didn't they come? He literally came out with them, kind of making it like the odds are against you, and they never fucking showed up. Like, what? Why show them and then they're not even there? But one thing you guys didn't touch on. So the post match, the Bloodline comes out, which is nice. I have a lot of stuff to say about this new Bloodline, but we're gonna save that for another day because I'm thinking we do like a State of the Union next week or week after or whatever. But got a lot to say about them. But I'm hoping that this doesn't turn into a 6-man tag from Money in the Bank because I hate seeing that main event pay-per-views where it's like a 6-man tag. It's like there's nothing to really gain for anyone. It's just everyone's mad at each other. But I mean, it's good to see.
I don't know if you noticed. You see Randy Orton eyeing the title.
That's your Mania match, in my opinion. You go Rock and Roman, and you go Randy and Cody. That's
okay. I'm with that. No, but it was front and center. Seeds are planted already.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. You see Cody says, you know, the royal family, the Orton family is arguably just as royal as, if not more than the Rhodes family. If you think about Cowboy Bob and 14-time world champion Randy Orton. So I'd love to see heel Randy, legend killer Randy come back and have a story with Cody. That'd be awesome.
Bob Orton Sr., his uncle Barry O.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be something that could be whittling in the weeds there. But I do agree. It's always nicer when the baby face is chasing, right? It's a little bit more difficult to run storylines when the baby face is the champ. So we'll see what happens there. But AJ Styles says I quit to Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes retains the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship.
Yep. So we're gonna go into the next match after that, which you went from a pretty good I Quit match to just a botch fest that I have a lot of. You think I was negative before? I'm gonna be negative now.
Negative Nancy over here.
The first thing I'm gonna tell you: get rid of these damn titles. No one cares. No one cares about these tag team titles. You should have each show have a heavyweight champion, a women's heavyweight champion, and like a women's IC title and a women's UC title or UC United States title, because these mid card titles would get a lot more of the female wrestlers involved in like trying to do something important. No one gives a shit about these titles. These tag team titles are, I don't like them. I don't like them. You can't change my mind at all. But either way, so to the match, you know, they won because of the hometown. Obviously, like they gave it to them. But Jade is just too green still. I mean, I don't think that she's going to get better at this point. I mean, she's already been on a lot of pay-per-views. She tapped to Shayna Baszler's Kirifuda clutch twice on accident.
Yeah,
like
she wasn't
5
trying to
times,
tap. She wasn't
realistically.
trying to tap, but yeah.
But she did. I mean, if you look at it, she did. I mean, and they didn't play it into the match at all, like to the finish. They're just like, it just happened. I mean, she's way too green. So I do like that you took the titles off of them, because Bianca deserves better, another singles title run, and you send Jade to NXT because there are performance wrestlers there that are better than she is. Just send her there and let her develop, because she's not ready. And I think that Triple H righted the wrong of putting a title on her this soon. So that's my negative rant. I'll turn it over to you boys. Go ahead, MVP.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, I'm thinking she was trying to signal to Shayna to ease off. That's just from looking at it. That's what it kind of looked.
That kind of could have what it looks like.
And then after they acknowledged the tap out, she was tapping out again, but it was slight. It wasn't as pronounced as the first one. But yeah, after that, she was they how they got into their double team finish. It was
a little rough.
Smooth.
It's a little rough. It was a little rough.
But I'm happy for the unholy duo of Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. They get to regain, because they were NXT Tag Team Champions, and they lost the titles when it was unified to their iteration right now. But yeah, a good hometown moment, and especially for Alba Fire, who recently, she suffered tragedy in her family. Her mom passed away.
Yeah.
So that was a good story. But I don't know where they go from here. Do they have a long run? Do they transitional?
I think you have a long run here. You got to have. When they came in with the NXT Tag Team Championships, they were red hot. They were red hot. I think they lost it to Shayna and Ronda. Was that who they lost it to? I think when they were together. And I get why they did that, but this tag team, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, is a great tag team. They look great together. And shout out to
they were
Zoe
tearing
Stark.
it up in NXT.
Yeah, and shout out to Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler too, because they held their own in this match. I think Zoe Stark is extremely underrated. I think she's going to just getting better week by week. Really like Zoe Stark. That springboard for Jade to come in. I mean, if you're gonna hit the hot tag, if you don't know how to do the springboard, just don't do the springboard. I mean, that's coming from a chunky guy coming myself. So I mean, it's live, right? When it's live, you only get one shot at it. And I think that's what a lot of, fans and people don't appreciate about pro wrestling, is that it's live. You get one shot at it. And, Jade tries to do that springboard and just terrible. It's terrible. And really happy for Isla Dawn. I mean, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn. And I think they should have a long run. I think it's well deserved for those two. 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 I think it's well deserved for those two And
I mean, WWE is doing nothing with them. Why not showcase them and let
they're a
them
true
show you
tag
what they
team.
got?
They are a true tag team, right? And I get what you're saying, Lucky, about the tag team titles, but they have a lot of talent as far as the women goes
Sure.
in this division. And I think they learned their lesson just by putting Bianca and Jade together, right? I get it, uh, you know, putting two women together, they look great, they look like $1 million, right? They're trying to hopefully have Jade learn a little bit from Bianca, which I totally get that, and I think that was a smart move to put her with her. But I don't think you can move her to NXT. I think she's on the main roster for good. Where I think this goes is maybe a feud between Bianca and Jade, where Bianca can sit here. I think this would be a good opportunity for Bianca to actually turn heel, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tell Jade, hey, you come in here, you're handed the red carpet, you're handed the big contract, and I've been doing this for years, and you just basically held me down in this tag team. And this would be a great, I think, segue for Bianca to kind of turn heel on Jade and get a program between them started. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, even if you keep these tag titles, I mean, it would be beneficial to introduce women's mid card titles.
Yeah.
Because if you're not chasing the tag titles or one of the heavyweight titles, you're doing nothing. Really. I mean, yeah, you're having feuds with people, but that's all petty stuff. Why are you a competitor in WWE? You
Would you
want to
say
win
that about the men? Would you say that
championship.
about the men if they're not chasing
Yes.
the US or the IC?
Well, that's why they need those mid card titles. Okay, imagine Raw and SmackDown if you only had the tag titles and then the two heavyweight titles. It'd be kind of boring to watch the men's wrestling as well. So the mid card titles help because you have meaningful feuds. Like the next match we're going to talk about, Sammy and Chad, that was a great match for a gold championship. There's so much more that the women could do if they had more gold to go after, is my point. Is they're already putting on good matches. If you make it for a reason, like you're competing for championship, that's why you become a wrestler. You want to be a champion. So, I mean, everyone's just fighting to fight. Like, give them some gold to go after. This is my hot take on it. This is my hot take. But
Spicy.
Yeah, but you're saying to take away some gold.
Right,
well,
exactly.
okay, but the tag titles though, how many of these teams are just thrown together? Like, I mean, it's just and that's the same thing with the men's division too. Like, they've gotten better at like trying to put tag teams together. Like, the uh, Miz and Truth. You have Awesome Truth. You have A Town Down Under. You have AOP. Like, you got a lot of good teams that are formed, but you don't have that with the women's division. It's just throwing together people that are just fighting to fight for a title. That's just my opinion, though. So,
I
well,
do believe they do need secondary titles though.
yeah. I mean, they
Yeah,
deserve it. Like,
yeah. I
they
mean,
I
NXT
mean,
just did a
they're
women's
doing
North American, so
exactly, exactly.
all right. We'll move on to I think one of the best matches, probably the best match of the night, was Sammy and Chad Gable. I didn't write too much because I mean it speaks for itself, but a lot of nice close calls. The ankle lock on the barricade was nicely done. It was very nice to see. But in my opinion, they should have pulled the trigger and had Chad Gable win this. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know where you really go with Sammy, and Sammy's great. I love Sammy, but with the story they're telling with Alpha Academy and like Otis is going to snap on Chad at any minute, like it would have been cool to have Chad win this title and then have Otis finally snap by the time SummerSlam comes and you have a championship match with him. But I don't know. I think Chad should have won this year, but I'll turn it to MVP. What do you think?
yeah. This definitely would have been the time to, especially Chad just re-upped with the company. Um, I honestly don't know what you do with the Alpha Academy at this point. So Otis didn't snap yet. There's a little bit of me thinking he might turn heel and side with him, and then they go on to recruit the Creed brothers. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Gable needs a faction because he's basically the reincarnation of Carnagle.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's doing great work with this Alpha Academy. The heel work that he's doing, the match in ring was fantastic. But in my opinion, the storyline that was going on outside of the ring with Maxine and her boot and Otis and Maxine now getting in the mix of potentially hitting Sami Zayn, that stuff was just fantastic. And I think the storytelling between these two guys were absolutely fantastic. I agree with you guys. One of, if not the match of the night. I think we only had 5 matches, but I think I think this was the one that I was personally most invested in, just because this is a great story. This is a great story. Arguably one of the best, if not the best story kind of going on in WWE right now. And Sami Zayn, I don't think he can put on a bad match if he tried. His matches are just absolutely fantastic. His storylines, the way he sells, his in-ring psychology is absolutely fantastic. And I think this still has some legs with Alpha Academy. You keep on, you keep on with Chad kind of beating down on Otis, beating down on Maxine. And this is one of those stories where it doesn't really need a title, right? This has been a story that's been going on for 6 months now, if not more. This can culminate at SummerSlam without a title, and I think it would mean just as much without a title between Otis and
Chad.
Chad for sure. And who knows, if you really want to get crazy, throw in to where that match happens and Maxine screws Otis, and now Maxine's a heel with Chad Gable. If you really want to throw the monkey wrench in there. So there's a lot of different ways we can go here. But Sami Zayn retains the title. What's that move that Chad Gable has? The rolling German out of
the roll through German.
Chaos Theory.
Oh, the Chaos Theory. That is just picture perfect. Looks great out of that corner. And just really, really love this match. Match of the night for me.
As you're talking, I have a prediction that I think you're right that you might be able to extend this a little bit more, and I think that you can have Zayn and Chad have one more match, and this is where you take the title and give it to Chad, where Chad says I need one more shot, and he says okay, I'll fight you one more time, but if I win, then you have to let Otis and Maxine go on their own, and you got to stop bullying them. Like he'll fight for them, and then you can have Chad win that title and then go on to his stuff with Otis and stuff. But no, I think that's going to happen. I'll put money on that right now. I'll put money on that.
Putting the stamp of approval on there.
I got a hot take.
All right.
Sami Zayn is the reason why WWE had no problem with Daniel Bryan leaving.
Oh, I agree. He's a workhorse. He's a workhorse, and the fans love him. There's no denying that. The fans absolutely love him. It's undeniable. Wherever he goes, France, all over the U.S., Saudi Arabia, they love this guy.
They do.
This guy is he just connects with the fans. He has something that you can't teach. He just connects with people, and he pulls at their heartstrings. He just does. And that's the magic of Sami Zayn.
Yeah. All right. We're going to move on to the women's world championship here. Bayley versus Piper Niven. I don't have much on this one. I'll be honest, because for me, there was no doubt of the outcome. So I wasn't very invested like I should. It was still a good match. I'm not saying it was bad or anything. Chelsea Green has been a riot. I mean, she's really funny. But I mean,
Chelsea Green.
Yeah. I just wasn't into it because I know that Bayley's going to be doing bigger stuff, coming up, that I'm like, she's not losing, so I'm not really into it. But I mean, it's still a good match. I'm not saying it was bad, but we'll go to third man on this one first this time.
Well, watching it, did you actually? There was some couple of spots there where I actually thought Piper was gonna win this one. Like that Piper driver, her version of the Michinoku driver,
that was great.
Devastating, just devastating there. And Bayley was just the picture perfect timing to kick out of that. She literally kicked out of that at 2 9/10. But I agree with you. Lucky. We knew, or I had a great feeling that Bayley was going to win this. But once Isla Dawn and Alba Fire won, I was like, wait a minute here. Piper Niven might have a shot of winning this one. And honestly, Piper Niven, she really impressed me in this match. I mean, for a big girl, she can go,
Yeah.
she can move. Her cardio is top notch, and she got the crowd behind her because they really weren't behind her in the beginning of this match, and I was really surprised by that because I mean she's from Scotland. I thought she would be getting a hell of an ovation, but it started off a little rough because the crowd was cheering for Bailey, and the Bailey the belly off the top rope I thought was fantastic. I thought that was awesome. I love the sentons that Piper Niven does, and there's like the rolling thunder that Kevin Owens does that she does. I just really became a fan of Piper Niven in this one. But shout out to Bailey, man. She's my favorite. She's my favorite right now. I've always loved Bailey. Everybody hates on me. Everybody calls her a butterhead, and I disagree. And I disagree. But I love Bailey, so shout out to Bailey for winning this one. Go, what you got, MVP?
Oh, dude, no, I totally agree with you. I love Bailey. Um, she she can't. I mean, depends on who she works with if the match is gonna be bad or not. But these two women could go. Um, but I agree with Lucky. We all knew Bailey was gonna win. I mean, Piper was only put in this match because of Scotland. I mean, you could have subbed her for Nikki Cross, and
Yeah.
it would have been the same effect. But the fact I think you put Piper in there because she's a bigger girl, so more of a threat than you say Nikki Cross. But
Yeah.
yeah, these two put on a decent match. But yeah, Bailey was always going over.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, it's going to bring us to the main event: Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. It was a pretty good match. I mean, a lot of good near falls with the Claymore, and Damian kicked out, and you really thought he was going to pull it off because it's in Scotland. There was a moment where Damian went over the top rope and his foot got caught, and I don't know if that was supposed to happen or not,
That
but
was crazy.
they did a great job of improvising on there to try to remedy that situation because I don't think he was supposed to, and he could have got seriously hurt. So it was very good. But yes, I mean there was that moment, and then the ref bump happened, and shout out to the camera crew because you didn't know that was Punk right away when the ref
Nope.
slides in.
Nope, you sure didn't.
They did a great job covering that, make it look like it wasn't like you could tell they're hiding something. And when he hits that 1-2 and then he stops and he just holds the two of them, like, man, this is what I thought would happen if Drew didn't win, is Punk was going to cost him again. So I thought it was a pretty good match, and to me it looks like Damian versus Gunther at SummerSlam is going to happen, and Gunther is going to become your world heavyweight champion at SummerSlam. But I'll turn it over to MVP.
Shout out to Punk wearing the long sleeves.
Yeah, to cover the tattoos.
This was a banger. The crowd was hot from the jump. Um, I don't know how much you guys are on social media, but I could tell something was going to happen because Punk did not post anything on Instagram all day. So I'm like, something could happen here, and this sets it up perfectly for the Punk Drew McIntyre feud to continue, especially
Yeah.
when he's going to be cleared soon. If you saw the post match, the press conference.
Yeah. They're going at SummerSlam. They're going at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
For
Oh, for I was thinking maybe it would have been for the title, but nope. You're gonna stick with Damian, and it's cool for him. He gets to continue to show what he's got.
Man, shout out to El Señor Campeón, Damian Priest. Everybody talked about this guy being a transitional champion, paper champion, right? And he's proven everybody wrong. He's proven everybody wrong.
Yeah,
And this whole Drew and Punk thing, this is a prime example that every feud doesn't need a title. This Punk Drew doesn't need a title, doesn't need any type of secondary title. This is just as important of a storyline as Cody Rhodes championship, undisputed championship run right now. Drew versus Punk, right? And that's my argument when it comes to, oversaturating with too many titles, right? Because if you do the story right and you get people invested, you can have a Drew versus Punk, storyline, and it's probably arguably could be the biggest match on SummerSlam, to be perfectly honest, and it's not going to have a title.
I completely agree. I completely agree, because you will have matches like that when they invest the time into it. When has WWE done the women justice and invested time in that, where there's a feud between two people that didn't need a title that you were like truly invested in? Maybe a couple a year, but it's like they deserve more. Is my point, is that just one more mid-card title on each show would greatly benefit them.
I get it.
Yeah,
for sure.
But no, you're right. This is a good example of that. You don't need a title for. I mean, Drew and Punk there's so much heat on them, and they haven't even touched each other yet. Really, right. They haven't even really fought each other. So,
and that's the huge part about it. I honestly thought when what was the move that they did where Drew, was it a suplex or something off of the corner, and he just recovered right away and hit Priest with the Claymore? I thought that was it. I thought, okay, huge pop from the crowd. This was going to be it, and I really thought Drew was going to take this one. I think he deserves it, but I think now that's hindsight's 2020. I think leaving the title on Damian Priest just kind of solidifies him here, and invest us a little bit more into Damian Priest. And we hopefully, this Gunther Damian Priest build up can be awesome, because it can be.
I'm excited for this match. They're gonna elevate each other. That's just how it's gonna work.
Yeah, and I think that's what Triple H and company has in mind. But shout out to the fans. They were pretty hot all the way through. Not as hot as France. I don't think anybody's ever gonna be as hot as France. I don't want to say never, because they were pumped from start to finish.
Well, they were shutting off iPhones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because of like the decibels, right? Because of how loud it was or whatever. So, but Drew versus Priest, I think it was a great way to end the show. I think MVP mentioned the after show interviews that they did, and CM Punk was just awesome on the mic, as he always is, talking a lot of shit. And I can't wait for Raw to see what happens on Raw Monday. Even though I think he said in the show that he's actually going to bypass Raw, go see his doctor, because he's supposedly supposed to get cleared. And spoiler alert, which he gave it away to everybody. SmackDown's in Chicago on Friday, and Punk said if all goes well, he's going to make that announcement that he's all clear on SmackDown. So who knows? We might see Drew on SmackDown this week too.
Ooh.
Well, there you go. So I mean, all right. Last thing I'm going to ask you guys: what do you rate the pay-per-view? 1 out of 10. We do it every time. We'll start with MVP. 1 out of 10. What do you rate it?
Give it a 7.
Give it a 7.
That was 7. That was 7. Mine was 7.5.
I will give it a 7. I probably would have went 7.5, but you could thank Jade Cargill for that. It's a 7. It could have been 7.5. You can thank her. But all right, that's it. If you agree with our takes, let us know in the comments. If you don't agree with the takes, let us know in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, and we will catch you guys on the next one.